let's get to the story itself. Netflix officially announces the acquisition of Warner Bros. And the DC Universe for $82.7 billion. Eat your heart out, Lucasfilm. That makes no sense at all. Okay, it just shows you that was a steal of $4 billion, not the completely different Star Wars and a studio. I'm just saying, $4 billion. They still got that for a steal. Anyway, Netflix officially announces the acquisition of Warner Brothers. Here we go. Hours after reports surfaced about Netflix winning the bidding war for Warner Brothers, the streaming giant has now made it official and touts the DC Universe as one of the many franchises it will soon own. Well, it's official. Netflix has announced that it has entered into a definitive agreement with Warner Brothers Discovery to acquire Warner Brothers, including its film and TV studios, HBO Max, and HBO. The sale, which still needs to pass through regulatory processes, is valued at $82.7 billion, with the equity value of $72 billion. In a press release, it said the acquisition brings together two pioneering entertainment businesses, combining Netflix innovation, global reach, and best-in-class streaming service with Warner Brothers' century-long legacy of world-class storytelling. It also specifically highlights franchises like The Big Bang Theory, The Sopranos, Game of Thrones, The Wizard of Oz, and the DC Universe. All will join Netflix's extensive portfolio. There's the full press release, says some light on what it means for Warner Brothers, including that Netflix expects to maintain the studio's current operations and build on its strengths, including theatrical releases for films. HBO and Max titles will be added to Netflix, presumably meaning the rival streaming platform days are numbered. Well, there you go. That answers my question. I think that's a problem. The streamer also touts plans to expand production in the U.S. and grow investment in original content, and believes this acquisition will create a stronger entertainment industry by offering more opportunities to work with beloved intellectual property, tell new stories, and connect with a wider audience than ever before. Ted Sarandos, co-CEO of Netflix, said, "Our mission has always been to entertain the world by combining Warner Brothers, incredible library of shows and movies, from timeless classics like Casablanca, Citizen Kane, to modern favorites like Harry Potter and Friends, with our culture-defining titles like Stranger Things, K-pop Demon Hunters, and Squid Game. We'll be able to do that even better." Okay. Together, we can give audiences more of what they love and help define the next century of storytelling. This acquisition will improve our offering and accelerate our business for decades to come. David Zaslav, president and CEO of Warner Bros. Discovery, added, "Today's announcement combines two of the greatest storytelling companies in the world to bring to even more people the entertainment they love to watch the most. For more than a century, Warner Bros. Has thrilled audiences, captured the world's attention, shaped our culture. By coming together with Netflix, we will ensure people everywhere will continue to enjoy the most resonant stories for generations to come." So now, Netflix will own one of Hollywood's oldest movie studios, giving the company the biggest streaming platform on the planet and the opportunity to dominate the theatrical landscape through Warner Brothers Pictures. Netflix has hemorrhaged content since studios like Warner Brothers, Paramount, and Disney have launched their own streaming services, but now it has the countless new movies and TV shows to offer subscribers. What's this mean for DC Studios? That remains to be seen. Netflix might not be as willing as Zaslav when it comes to giving James Gunn and Peter Safran the freedom they currently seem to be enjoying. Perhaps the company will even restore the Snyderverse. Well, we'll see about that. Okay. Still on my lonesome so far, but I got hopefully got Winston and Kris coming in soon. But wow. Kris Carr is in. So let's bring her in real quick. Kris Carr.
Hi.
I'm sorry that I did that to you today.
That's okay. I was just farting around. So then I was like, oh, shoot.
I did, and the same. Because Winston's like, wait a minute, you told me 12 o'clock. my math was off.
I was out here trying to be a good future husband. I went to go get my lady's oil change because I had time now.
That's on me. I was looking at, like, for some reason it was so stupid. I said, can you guys do 12? Which is normally the time, and I don't know what time that would even be for anybody, because normally 12 is the time we normally do. Yeah, for East Coast time, so it'd be 9. So it would have been 10 your time. Anyway, Winston, you sent me this thing last night, and I went, wow, because it wasn't as shocking, because it was shocking, but it wasn't as shocking because when Kris and I were on yesterday on the show, Kris, do you remember there was like that one note that came in where somebody goes, "Oh, I just read this thing that they're reporting that Netflix is actually in the lead," and you and I kind of shoot it off.
Yeah, because it didn't make sense. Because
Didn't make sense.
why would you buy part of a company when somebody else is offering to get rid of the whole thing at a higher price originally?
I know. So okay, so nonetheless, it does go down. It happens, and this I just read the first part of it, which is the acquisition itself, and the statement. But there's more follow up things. People are going to be suing other people. There's going to be this is going to be a mess. But you hear the news off the bat here, Kris. What goes through your head? What does this mean over?
I had a big old stupid wallet that people used to make fun of me of, like a brick. It was old school, and it was such a burden to carry around all the time. So I don't have that anymore. Why? Ridge, it's the best. And you think Ridge was great? Now say hello to the Ridge 2.0. It's the refined version of the Ridge wallet. It's been perfecting the wallet for over 12 years, and everything is better on the Ridge 2.0. It's 10% lighter. Every gram matters in that Ridge wallet 2.0. It's the perfect balance. It really is. They made it more modular with improved cash straps, money clips, and the AirTag attachments. So here's what's cool too. They have over 50 colors and styles to choose from. You can get a wallet that features every NFL, MLB, or college team. I got the New York Giants one. I love it. It's so convenient. And it really is right now perfect for holiday gifting. I'm giving one of these. We're doing a white elephant, and I guarantee you people are going to be fighting over this Ridge wallet. It's so good. It's not just about the wallets, though. They create premium everyday carry essentials. They have key cases, they have suitcases, and they have a game-changing power banks, all built with the same sleek, durable design that you're going to find the perfect gift for every wish list. Try this season. You're going to thank me. People who give it to you are going to thank me. Losing your wallet, it really is the worst, but here's the trick. With the Ridge Tracker card, you're always going to know where your wallet is. It's perfect before that panic mode just kicks in. Perfect peace of mind for the holiday travel and gifting. For a limited time, Ridge is having their huge holiday sale. If you head on over to ridge.com, you're going to get up to 47% off your order. By far the biggest discount that they've given all year. That is ridge.com for up to 47% off your order during their biggest sale of the year. Now, you're going to purchase. After you purchase, they're going to say, "Where'd you hear about us?" You say, "Kristian sent us." Please support the show and tell them that we sent you. Ridge.
Overall, okay, I will say I am of two houses here. I don't like the idea of any of these companies ultimately getting these because of the idea of a monopoly or anything like that. But it does feel a little, to borrow from South Park, all of the options felt a little bit like choosing between various turd sandwiches. And this is the turd sandwich that I like the most, I think. I do have problems with Ted Sarandos closing that theatrical window even further. That is something he's talked about, the evolution of happening, because I do think we need movies to be in theaters. But I do like what he's previously said about committing to still having movies come out and have their theatrical time. I do like the kind of integrity in which WB seems to have gone about this sale. That's also maybe there's more to it, but their PR statement at least seems to be they wanted to go not only with something that made sense financially, but something that they felt aligned with them and their own values and everything as well. The Ellison stuff did make me very nervous just because I don't think anyone, regardless of political affiliation, should allow that to tie into the kind of media they create, regardless of which side of the aisle is in there, because, I've said it before, we're all on the same flight. I'm not rooting against my captain. I don't want the plane to go down. But I do want us all to have fair access to equitable information and non-biased information and not having propaganda-y type of things in our media, which it still will regardless, because that's the nature of filmmaking and such. But overall, I'm cautiously optimistic. I know a lot of people have been, on my social feed at least, very, very, "Oh, it's over. Oh, theatrical movies are done. Hope you guys liked the movie theaters." And I'm hoping that we can take a deep breath, and I'm hoping that Ted Sarandos will not try to make every single thing a straight to streaming Netflix, because also that won't make him money.
So to answer that, Winston, I think it makes no sense in the world to buy, if you're just buying a library to stick it on your streaming platform, that doesn't make sense to me. In the same way, like, look, I had asked the question initially, well, what are they going to do with Max? And the answer is they're just going to take all their stuff and put it on the streaming. I don't love that, but I get it. And I don't like it. I like the fact that HBO Max and HBO, which we grew up with for years and knew it is going to cease to exist. That's sad to me. But I get it when it comes to a business side. Like, no, we're going to put The Sopranos on Netflix, so everybody comes in. If you want to watch The Sopranos, then you got to watch it on Netflix. We're going to put House of the Dragon and Game of Thrones. That's all on Netflix. I get it. The studio side of it, though, like I said many times over, in my head, what I would think would make sense is to say, okay, we're going to run a studio. And for people and for our creators that are coming in that are saying, hey, we don't want to do this movie because it's not theatrical. Well, you'll run it on the Warner Brothers side, but you're not going to get the same budget that you would have on the streaming side. And if you're cool with that, then you can make it for a theatrical release. That's what I think they're going to do and would make sense that way. What do you think?
Yeah.
That's me.
That's a weird swaggy blurred.
Yeah.
I was just like, man, I did cosplaying Kristian Harloff. I think that would probably be the smart move, is to specifically do that. HBO Max has certainly improved their interface, but if we're just being honest, Netflix, because it's been around the longest, tends to be the cleanest out of all of them. If you're also talking about a way to potentially have us not have to pay for another streamer, that's also not necessarily a bad thing. But I think that is the most integral part. Is it feels like to me you just bought distro as well as IP. I don't think it makes logical sense to say we're done doing theatrical stuff, because
Well, they said they're going to do it for a little bit, but the question is, will it eventually stop?
That would be incredibly stupid. And like Kris said, I remember the episode you're talking about. It was between a douche and a turd sandwich. You had to vote on your options. I definitely remember that episode. It was hilarious. That is essentially what we're looking at here when it came to all these. But every single buyer, there was a problem with this happening in the first place. And the main one being that the more you consolidate, the worse that is as far as jobs, as far as options, et cetera, et cetera. But of all the ones, this was the one that seemed, based off of what they said with their pitch of, we're gonna keep it, we just want access to the library more or less in the distro. If that's what they're actually doing, then that isn't necessarily a bad thing. But you're exactly spot on, Kristian. They need to set that up in a way that you are not gutting essentially what helps keep the industry going. But if you lose the theaters, you're in trouble.
You're in trouble. But you could set such a new precedent if you're them, if you're Sarandos, if you're that, because you can then what's what we talk about all the time on this damn channel is the fact that how the budgets are too damn high. Is what we all the time we talk about, how they're too damn high for theatrical release movies. And now you can have Warner Brothers saying, hey, look, we've got 2 places you can make movies, and we don't expect you to make all of your budget back if you put it on the streaming service. You can have an IMAX release, you can have that. We just want people to care enough that it does well on the streaming service, that it brings people in, and we'll put some hype around it in the publicity machine. If you do it theatrically, though, and you want to go old school, we're with you, but you ain't getting $250 million to make this movie. You're going to get about 140.
Which makes me wonder, though, because I still don't think I understand how a place like Netflix actually makes their money, just in the sense that, like, yes, I get it. You're paying for whatever the subscription is. And yes, the subscription price has been going up constantly over and over and over and over again. But knowing that a lot of the tech stuff has continued, like Uber and Lyft, for example, is another example of a tech company that invaded a space and worked at a loss for forever. So the only thing that doesn't necessarily make sense to me, you stand to potentially make more money actually doing the theatrical releases and going out and selling this stuff than we're just going to throw it on our streamers. So that's the only part.
But I don't know. Someone makes the point here. They have 300 million subscribers at like $20 a pop or $25 a pop. That adds up, and it's like that way you're putting together like more and more money every time someone signs up to it, and more people. Guess what? Somebody's turning 18 tomorrow, and they got their own credit card. They're doing their own thing, and they just sign up for Netflix too. They're out on their own. They're like, oh, you know what? I got to set up my streaming on my own. I got to do this, and they get Netflix. There's new generations of people getting Netflix, buying Netflix, and now with a library like this, and shows and things that you have, you're going to get more subscribers. The answer of how they make their money is continuous subscribers over and over and over again. You know, like I'll use the Schmodown as an example. Before we went to Skybound, the way that we were able to make the show was our Patreon subscribers. That was how we were able to do it. We made X amount of dollars monthly that paid for the competitors, it paid for the editors, it paid for everybody. And granted, we ain't making $200 million movies,
right?
But I didn't have 200 million subscribers.
So what you saying? But I guess that was my question, though, and I guess that's the whole thing. Even using the Uber and Lyft example, the main disruptor element that these companies have done, and Netflix and Uber both said this out loud when they were doing it, was the idea of we're coming to disrupt the industry. So if all of a sudden taking an Uber to get to the airport costs $15 and taxi still costs $50, over time you get people to go do that. And then once they really had the foothold in the industry, they jack the prices up. Netflix has essentially done the same thing. Netflix used to be what, $7 a month, $9 a month, and like you said, now it's $20. Now they've jacked it up. So I guess that was my only thing that I was trying to figure out. I still think there's too much in the theaters as is, and I'm curious if the one legal battle, if they really try and tank the theatrical experience, that could actually have a pretty devastating effect on the economy, because that is a tent pole, one of the legs of the table of like entertainment. You really can't lose that.
Kris, you were gonna say?
Oh, I was just saying that one of the things that Netflix has done really well, though, is continuing to try to find ways to retain their user base as well, by adding in, as much as they don't work, those live events or taking it so that they're changing their release patterns or things. They are experimenting with their own model, and I'm excited to just see this new push for theatrical, for them to now see how much that benefits them. I mean, Daniel Craig came out and was talking about how terrible this model was for all the Knives Out things and everything. So my hope is that we still have the whole experience of movies. And I think a really big hurdle that Netflix actually has is courting theater owners. So this next CinemaCon, I'm actually really interested to see how everything shakes out, so that they can make them feel good about, you know, giving them screens for their movies and everything. Because that's the big thing about CinemaCon that I don't think a lot of average moviegoers know, is that it's essentially a bid. It's a bid for, please give me as many screens as possible. Please let my film be featured in your theater. And when Netflix says things constantly about, no, we're so much about streaming, ooh, we want to close that window and make that shorter, they do have an upward battle for making theater owners like them. So they are going to have to do a little dance here, figuring out what works for them, and also to get eyes on their screens so they can actually make that profit and continue to grow.
100%. But the thing is, before last night or this morning, was what Netflix was as a whole, and has made it clear that we, as today, as what our brand is and the way we do things, do it like this. But we didn't have this. Now we have this.
That's the thing.
And that's the thing. It's like, now that we have this, don't worry about what I said before, because I didn't have this. Now I have it.
Changed.
Right.
Hey, I look, you know, I love to do my little sports analogies. When I was playing basketball back in the day, bro, I wasn't getting no rebounds. I wasn't doing nothing because I was short. And then I hit my growth spurt and I was like, yo, coach, I got it. Like, and then all of a sudden I'm going and getting rebounds. I think it's the same thing. You didn't have the distro. You had to find your own way to get into the party. And now that you're in the party and you have the resources, now you can start to be like, all right, cool. I want to do it the way that other
you
people
also made a conscious effort to get the rebounds. The question is Netflix going to try to get the rebounds? And so that is going to be the major question, is that, yes, they've already said in this statement, we tend to honor those obligations. We're going to honor those obligations for now. And if it is a for now thing, that will be an industry devastating blow. It really will be. But it is a way for Netflix to say, as you're saying, Kris, we've changed, baby. I swear, forgive us. You know what I mean?
Different.
Right.
I've been to therapy, baby. I'm going to communicate more. That's how this feels. It's every ex-boyfriend of mine going, no, but I can change now.
Are you laughing because I went Ike Turner?
No, I'm laughing because I'm thinking about our recording yesterday. It's like, I got talent now. Like, that's what
it's true. It's true. So I mean, I'm telling you, this is major. This is major. I mean, it really is. And I said it in the intro that Roke had tweeted this last night, and I agree with him. This is so much more significant and bigger than when Disney bought Fox. Way bigger. Because of everything that we were just talking about, and how that, the potential changes of what it could do. It's almost like AI, right? And what I mean by that is AI is, everybody agrees, has the possibility to either maybe find ways to cure cancers, maybe find ways to do things and experiment in ways that we never could even fathom, or it could kill us all, right? And the question is, who's using it? What do they intend to do with it? Netflix could say, you know what, we have this now, and we're going to make the industry better, bigger. Here's what we do. Or they can go, no, it's all ours now. F you theaters, you don't like it, that's the way we do things now. And they could destroy the industry.
I mean, I think the only thing funnier about it, to be honest with you, is the fact that the full court press that Ellison and Skydance and all that went of, we're gonna get Warner, ain't nothing stopping us, you ain't do. And now that it didn't work out, also to be like, what is the fear? They're not being fair.
We're gonna talk about that. We'll talk about that in just a second, because we might as well transition to it in a second. But
yeah,
before we do, what do you guys think about the news in general? The fact that this has happened, that this is gonna happen. Put your thoughts in there. Let us know what you're thinking, whether it's on the Clips channel, here in the live chat, afterwards. Please put your thoughts in there and let us know. We have so much more to talk about with this story. We're going to talk about the letter that was sent in by Paramount in general, about why they thought it was unfair, what it means overall for them, why I believe that with this loss, they are in big trouble. So we'll get into that. Then we'll also get into the inevitable conversation about what the hell does this now mean about the DCU? What does it mean with James Gunn? People were talking about how he wouldn't be safe if it went to Paramount. Is he safer now, or is he still, who knows?
I wish I knew.
That's what we're going to try to find out.